Hey guys, it's Kelly, and today, as you can tell by the title, we're talking about what a girl supposedly did with a horse. I just want to say a disclaimer before we get into the video. I do not know that this is true, that this actually happened. So I just want to put it out there. I'm not saying that this is a fact or that this is what happened. This is just what I heard. So, yeah, I don't want anyone come for me or like anything. But anyway, so little backstory on this girl before we get into it. We'll call her A. She also had this friend M. The M doesn't really play much into the story, but she was just there. A was a little bit of a bully to me in middle school. So for me, middle school, not that it's really important, but it was 7th and 8th grade, and like so we were like 13 or 14. I can't remember. But I want to say this was like 7th grade maybe. And I had this friend that I met in like the middle of 7th grade. She moved here. We became friends. Unfortunately, I haven't talked in many years now, but anyways, we'll call her E. And I have stories about E too that I'm going to be telling in the future. But anyways, we were friends. You know, we got along good. And A, you know, would try to steal her from me in a sense. I know that sounds weird, but like try to get her to be A. You know, A was trying to get her to be her friend instead of my friend, like, especially at lunchtime mostly. This was like trying to get her to come sit with her at lunch instead of me, which was messed up. And then like not let me sit, and A wouldn't let me sit at her lunch table. I remember one of the times that happened, my mom actually came to have lunch with me that day. You know, because parents could do that. I don't know if it's still a thing nowadays, but my mom used to do it. She would come to lunch and sit with me at lunch, and it was nice. I liked it. You know, I don't care. Like, I was in middle school now. I enjoyed it. But and I remember my mom got mad at that. But anyways, that was just a little backstory on A. Then with M, she never stuck up for me, at least like when I was there. Maybe she didn't. She said something to A like when I wasn't there, but you know, as far as I know, she never stuck up for me. You know, but I don't really hold that against her too much, you know. And the thing is too with A, what's also funny about A is I found her on TikTok not too long ago. You know, she has a decent following, and like she had some messed up stuff happen to her, so she talks about that and spreads awareness on her TikTok page. But anyway, so the main thing I want to get to about A is there was a rumor going around that she effed a horse. Now again, I don't know if that's true enough. That's what I heard. I don't know where, I can't remember exactly where I heard it from, but I remember hearing it. Apparently, like, she was telling people that from what I heard. Again, can't tell you if it's true or not. Another thing about her too, she was back there very much into horses. She was like, you know, ride horses a lot. No pun intended, but she was big into horses, you know. I believe she had her own horse and stuff, if I remember correctly. So I don't know. Now, if you ask me if I believe it, back then I probably would have said yeah. Now I don't really know. Like I said, I know she was into horses and stuff. She was a horseback rider. So I don't know. You know, to be honest, I don't really know what I think now. I think possibly, but also at the same time, I don't know, because at the time we were only like 13, 14 years old. So I don't see how that could have been possible. I mean, I guess anything's possible. People are crazy, but I don't know. Like I said, I can't confirm it's 100% true. She never said that to me, just from what I heard. You know what I mean? And it's just really weird, because who would do that? So I know like how much she really loved horses, so I don't know if I can really see her doing something like that. But again, I never really knew who that felt. I wouldn't really consider us friends, to be honest, but I don't know. I don't really hate her, to be honest. It's just kind of like a neutral feeling, if that makes sense. Like, I don't like her, don't hate her. It's like whatever at this point. You know, we were in middle school. It was like stupid, petty middle school bullshit, to be honest. I hated middle school, to be honest. It was, I mean, like, I have other stories to do in middle school too, if you guys are interested to hearing, but I don't know. You know, I know my friend L, I know, like we've talked about before, I know she knows about the rumor. Like I said, I don't know if it's true, to be honest, so don't come for me. But yeah, what do you guys think in the comments? Have you guys ever had like any crazy rumors going around your school? And the thing is, though, I don't remember really it like going around school, to be honest. Like, it wasn't like a big thing that was talked about, from what I can remember. It's not like you have to remember too, I didn't really have friends. I didn't really talk to people, so it's not like I would necessarily know if it was going around school, but I don't know. Like, so that was a middle school thing, and after middle school, like, she moved away because she wasn't in my high school. So, like, I really have no clue. you know, I will say I do feel bad for her because she just had some like terrible stuff happen to her that, like I said, she talks about on her TikTok. So, you know, I am sorry that happened to her. Like, I'm not a mean, cruel person, you know. I try not to hold grudges, especially like over shit like this. It was just petty middle school shit, you know. It wasn't like she was cruel to me or said mean things, like bullied me on, you know, like that. But I don't know. It was just, it is what it is, I guess. You know, I still have empathy and like I still feel bad for her. Like, I'm not saying she deserved to, you know, to go through what she went through just because of what she did in middle school. You know what I mean? I know some people feel that way, and that's your prerogative. I'm just saying, if you want some advice, guys, do not hold on to grudges or hate in your heart, because that's just not going to help you in any way. That's just going to make you a miserable person, you know. Forgiveness, people have to understand, forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness, you know, is not for the other person. It's so you can let go of that anger and that hate that you're holding in you. That's not good to have in you. Let it go. Let the past be the past. Like, I understand in certain situations, obviously, you know, like with certain situations, obviously you can't let it go. When it comes to like SA, you know, like comes to severe bullying, like, I get that. I'm not saying every single situation, but I feel like with most things, you could kind of move on from it and let it go. You know, I'm not saying you have to forgive to necessarily like, be that person's best friend, but move on. Let go of that anger, because it's not doing you any good. Because all you're doing when you hold on to anger, you're letting that person win, you know. You're letting that person get what they want. So, you know, don't let them live rent-free in your head. That's what I'm making sure. But yeah, it's not really much to say. Again, my story's nothing like too crazy and nothing super long either. But I do think it's crazy, and like, I really don't know what to believe. But if you guys have any ever, like, when you guys were in school, if you had any crazy rumors, let me know in the comments. Not necessarily about you, but just maybe other people. Let me know in the comments. I'll be interested to hear. Maybe I can share some in a video for you guys, if that's okay with you guys. That'll be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I have other stories. If you guys want to hear stuff about other things I would love to share with you guys that are not necessarily story times, like stuff to do with like my school life, how school was for me and stuff, if you're interested. But let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious. I love telling stories, just telling stuff about my life, you know, like to share with you guys. You guys can kind of get to know me a little bit more. But I love you guys so much. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Also, a little update. Still haven't found my ghost box. But I did do a video yesterday. I was sitting, you know, just recording like I used to do. I was sitting in my kitchen and just recording, and I captured some like weird voices that I couldn't make out what they were saying, and a whistle. So check that out. I uploaded it as a YouTube short, and I uploaded it on my TikTok. But I love you very so much. Please follow me on my socials. Follow everyone in my description. Guys, please subscribe to me. Please like, and please comment. And I will see you randomers in the next video. Peace.